guys. We're moving on to genetics and human body. Your I can statement for today is I can understand the concepts of genetics, cells, and human body. So cells, we have single cellular organisms or unicellular organisms. Unicellular organisms are organisms with one cell. Single, singular, uno, one, unicellular. They have one cell that can function on its own, all by itself. It can perform all of life's functions in one cell, all of them. Respiration, waste removal, getting food, movement, all of it is done in one cell. They're pretty amazing. So the unicellular organisms or single cellular organisms can do all of life's productions, all of life's functions in one cell. That's it, just one. Some examples are amoebas, parameciums, euglena, bacteria, and algae. Multicellular organisms. Multicellular organisms are organisms with many cells. If it has more than one, it is a multicellular organism. It has many systems that work together. So what happens is, with multicellular organisms, there are layers of cells that form tissues. And then the tissue layers to form organs. And then your organs all join together to make an organ system. And then those organ systems all work together to make an organism, like you. So let's start with our human body. We have the, respiratory system. Say, respirar, breathe, okay? Your respiratory system, breathe in the oxygen, breathe out the carbon dioxide. So you're breathing oxygen in and then removing waste. The waste that you're removing is carbon dioxide because your body doesn't need it. It's actually toxic to your body to keep the carbon dioxide in there. So don't do it. Breathe in, breathe out. Your respiratory system includes which organs? Well, let's talk about it. So your respiratory system includes your nose, your pharynx, your larynx, your trachea, your bronchi, your lungs, and your diaphragm. How does your respiratory system work with other systems? I'm glad you asked. Your respiratory system works with your circulatory system. As you breathe that oxygen in, your circulatory system delivers it all over your body. Also, your diaphragm, that is part of your respiratory system, is also part of your muscular system because that muscle, that diaphragm, tells your lungs when to expand and contract, okay? So, your circulatory system. So, if I say circulatory, you say transport. Circulatory. Circulatory. Did you really do it? All right, so your circulatory system is your transport system. Your circulatory system takes the nutrients and the oxygen that your respiratory system brings in, and they deliver it to the blood and to your bloodstream and all over your body. Everything that your body does requires oxygen. Your muscles require oxygen. Your brain requires oxygen. Even your digestive system needs to have the oxygen and the nutrients to function. So, what organs are involved in your circulatory system? Well, your heart, your veins, and your arteries are all part of your circulatory system. Now, specifically referring to your heart is your cardiovascular system. Your cardiovascular system is also part of your circulatory system. It just specifically references your heart and all the veins and arteries around it. So how does your circulatory system work with other systems? Well, I just told you. It transports blood, which contains oxygen and nutrients, to every part of your body. Your entire body is covered with veins and arteries. All right, so your human body, the digestive system. So your digestive system breaks down food. Your digestive system gives you nutrients. And also, it absorbs all of those good nutrients and it poops out the rest. Yes, it is a waste removal system. Which other system was a waste removal system? Your respiratory system. Just like your respiratory system removes the carbon dioxide waste, your digestive system also removes waste. So what organs are involved in your digestive system? Digestion begins in your mouth. There is enzymes in your saliva that immediately start to break down the food that you eat. Also, your teeth start to break down the food that you eat. Then your throat and your esophagus, your stomach, your small intestine, your large intestine, and your colon. Those are all the parts of your digestive system. Now, how does your digestive system connect with other systems? Well, your digestive system breaks down the food, and then your small intestine absorbs all of the nutrients out of the food that you eat. Well, those nutrients then go into your bloodstream and are taken to the various parts of your body by your circulatory system. So your circulatory system takes those nutrients to your muscles and to your brain to help your body to grow strong and to function properly. Nervous system. So your nervous system is your control center, like your video games, okay? Your brain is telling your body what to do even as we speak. It is the control center for everything you do. It sends messages from the brain to the rest of your body. It helps you to move, it helps you to reason, and it helps you to react. Now, your brain sends the messages down your spinal cord, which is like your message highway, okay? And your spinal cord then sends those messages out to your entire body through nerve cells, okay? So your brain, your spinal cord, and all your nerves control everything that you do. How does it connect with other systems? I just told you. It controls everything you do. Your brain tells your heart to beat. You don't even have to think about it. Your brain tells your stomach to digest your food, and you don't even have to think about it. There are things that you can control, and there's things that you can't control. And there's some that are both voluntary and involuntary. Okay, like blinking. You blink all day, and you don't have to think about it. But if I told you to blink, you could do it on command. Your brain is an amazing thing. It is the control center for your whole body. All right, your muscular system. Okay, your muscular system helps you move. There would be no movement without your muscles. Your muscles contract and relax to move your bones. When you have muscles contracting and relaxing, and your bones, which is your framework, that equals movement. What organs are involved? Well, lots of them. You've got your biceps and your triceps and your abdominal muscles and your quadriceps and your calves and your hamstrings. You have muscles everywhere. You have muscles in your face. Did you know that it takes more muscles to frown than it does to smile? All right, so your muscles work with all your other systems as well. Your heart is a muscle. Your diaphragm is a muscle that helps you breathe. There's muscles in your esophagus that help push your food down when you swallow it. There's muscles that help you run. There's muscles that help you jump. There's muscles all over your body. Now, your muscles also have to work with your bones. If you had muscles but no bones, you still wouldn't be able to move because you wouldn't be able to stand upright. So, speaking of bones, let's move on to your skeletal system. Your skeletal system gives you support. Now, your skeletal system has a lot of jobs. In my classroom, we talked about how your skeletal system is your framework, your shield, and helps with your blood. Okay? Let me explain. It's your framework because it's what keeps you upright. It gives you shape. Okay? It's your shield because it protects a lot of your vital organs. Your rib cage and your sternum protect your lungs and your heart and your internal organs. Your skull protects your brain. Okay, so some of your skeletal system has a really important job being a shield. And also, inside of your bones, in your marrow, is where your blood is made. So your skeletal system has a lot of really important jobs that connect with a lot of our different body systems. Most notably, your skeletal system and your muscular system are like BFFs. Your muscles connect to your bones and then cause movement. Okay, so let's move into genetics. Inherited traits versus learned traits. Your inherited traits are things that you're born with. They are mainly your physical traits, traits that you can see, and they are equally inherited from both parents. You get 50% of your DNA from mom and 50% of your DNA from dad, and that makes your inherited traits. Things like your hair color, your eye color, whether you have attached or unattached earlobes, whether you can do this. Those are all inherited traits. The color of a flower is inherited from its parent flower. The shape of a maple leaf is inherited from its parent plants. Okay? So any type of inherited trait is a characteristic passed down from parents to offspring. If you have polka-dotted puppies, they got their DNA from their parent puppies, parent dogs. So let's move into learned. Your learned traits are things that are taught, things that are learned, things that are a habit, or things that are a product of your environment. So things that are learned traits. The language you speak is learned. You learned it from hearing your parents or somebody else speak it. Riding a bicycle is learned. Reading books is learned. Playing basketball. Things like my favorite cereal. It's a learned trait. Your ability to cook or play guitar or play soccer. Those are all learned traits. Now, if you have freckles, you can't learn to have freckles. Those are inherited. I hope you understand the difference between learned and inherited now. Try to think of a couple of different traits that you have inherited and a couple that you've learned. I hope that you have remembered some of the stuff that we talked about with genetics and human body. Don't forget to do your activities on Quizlet, take your practice test, and then your assessment in a couple of days. Thanks. Bye.